Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, and I'm glad to see you all here. My name is Paul Joseph. I've been in the fashion and beauty industry for the past 40 plus years, and I have created this channel so that I can share my experiences not only in the industry but also in my personal journey through life and this career. And I'm hoping to be of service to anyone who needs or could use what I say here or what is exposed here. If you're new, please welcome to my world. Don't forget to subscribe. It's a free and great way to support the channel. Also, be sure to check out the links in the description below. Also, I am asking for you to make comments and questions and ask me anything. If you want me to share anything with you, please let me know. So let's dive in. Thank you. In this episode, I want to talk about monetizing and putting value to your work and your talent and the time that it takes to do. Trends, markups, and products, all that stuff. And I'll try to keep it short. So there's people who are into sales. So there's that part, of this business where you can go into retail, working for either a hair care company or a cosmetics company. And I will focus on the cosmetic companies. Which it's something I did way in the beginning and in my career, just to get out there and start learning about these things. In cosmetic companies, for example, there's the umbrella company Cosmere or LVMH that owns L'Oreal. L'Oreal owns a bunch of other companies, and like Estee Lauder owns many cosmetic companies. So you choose to work for one of them. If you're into sales, that's great. You usually will do that in department stores, selling products, and you like the idea of sales, and you'll get commissions for whatever you get paid, for whatever you sell, on top of your salary, if they give you one. The other position that you can get in this type of environment is as a makeup artist. Usually there's a makeup artist at a level where this makeup artist will travel through the stores to assist salespeople in selling products, even though they're supposed to also sell these makeup artists, and they get, I believe they get commission for it. I was never at that. I never tried that. Also, some of these companies like MAC, Lancome, they have their artist, their top artist, which creates their each season's collections of makeups and all that. One that was very famous for Shiseido, who created this campaign, this advertising campaign. His name was Serge Lutens. It's somebody who I follow. His talent, his vision was amazing. So yeah, and this is some of the avenues you can go with retail. The what you get paid. I mean, somebody at the level of Lutens. I mean, Serge Lutens. I mean, I'm sure it's in the thousands of dollars a day or per job. Because they've been handpicked by the company to do these advertising campaigns, and if these advertising campaigns bring tons of money into the company, well, yeah, you get compensated for all that. Now, let's move into the general salon services. Salons, they have whether you own it or this is where I have the most experience. So in salons, you have to. There's a few things that you need to keep in mind, as far as services, in salon services and at home. In a lot of places, doing work at home is illegal. If you have a cosmetology license, you're not supposed to do that. The only thing I'm going to say about hairs, the in at home is that Clients expect you to charge them less because of supposedly you're getting all the money. Yes, all the money's for me, but I still have expenses and time and convenience tax. I'll explain that in a second. Yes, I have expenses. I have to buy the expensive products that they're expecting me to use on them. Of course, education, seminars, review things, car expenses. Wear and tear of the car that costs money, and also the time thing, the time issue. Since I'm going to go to your house and just take care of you, there's going to be a lot of other people. There's going to be a lot of time, idle time. Idle time is can be just as expensive. Because the competition was so hard, I decided that at the very least, I was going to charge them the same as the salon, because the minute that you start charging less than the salon, you will never see that client go back into the salon, because if it's cheaper for them, they don't have to get in a car and go through the trouble of getting to you. Why would they even want to go back to the salon? So let me talk about that. The convenience tax. Well, it's there's a huge convenience. It's a luxury to have someone, you know, if the client doesn't have to climb in the car, drive through traffic, be in an hour, 2 hours on traffic, get to your area, try to find parking, maybe gets a parking ticket because the appointment got took too long. Those are things that are, it's a convenience. It's a convenience for them, and besides, they don't have to be in a salon, spending time with people, what they would call undesirables. I mean, that's a sarcastic way of me saying, people who you just don't want to be around, in a social event, because salons are social. Then the salon. Let's talk about the salon. Sorry, I have a bit of a chest cold. So salon service. How do I price my services? My mother told me, she ran my family's business, and she told me that, in any service, the cost of the service or the product that you use for the service should be 10% of the price of your service. So let's say, and just to make it quick, the cost of an application of color. Let's say it costs you $10. Well, you should be charging $100 for that service. Now, if it's a good client and you want to be nice, you want to charge her a little less, well, that's up to you. But this is your, what do you call it, your step up point, or where you part from, either 100 more, like more or less. Also, time is crucial. This, eh, the other thing that, besides the cost of the product, yeah, I divide it into three things: the cost of the product, how long does it take me to do the service, and my talent. The talent has to be important. This is important. It's crucial for you, because you have to be humble and know where you're at. As far as your talent and your knowledge of whatever you're doing, and time. Especially, let's start. Well, we'll talk about that in bridal. So yeah, and if your client is a regular client, very loyal, very comes every 6 to 8 weeks to get her color done, great. You try to help her out as much as you can, but you don't have to. It's all up to you. This is something you have to work with yourself. Um, let's talk about bridal. Bridal is a huge industry. I mean, it's big, and it could be very profitable. So, a bridal brides think that you are like some type of machine. One of the things that I was always like, ugh, make my blood boil. It's like, well, if you were doing two people, let's say the bride and the mother of the bride, maybe the sister of the bride, and they would say, what if I bring you like 16 more people? Will you charge me less? Really? It's 16 more people. I mean, to be honest, it's like I couldn't do more than 8, I mean, for people, if I'm doing hair and makeup. And besides, to do 16 people, I would have to hire someone, and that person is not, to help me out, and that person is not, they're not gonna work for free, and I'm gonna have to pay them, unless they're willing to find somebody else to set foot, play a part in this. We're not a product. I mean, you're talking about if you're selling products, shampoo bottles, hair care products, and you have a beauty supply, and you want to charge, you want to move this merchandise, and somebody wants to buy, like, let's say 10 bottles of a certain shampoo. Well, you definitely give them a discount because you want to move them. Some discount, 10, 15, 20, whatever you want. And same with salons. I think in salons you have to like make it easy for people to buy your retail, because in the retail is where the salon really makes the money, not in the services. In the services is like minimal. The other thing is what else about bridal? They're also your time is so valuable, because brides will make you wait, and they think that they're the most important person, and they are the most important that day. In a lot of bridal guidebooks, they say that hair and makeup is like the last thing you should be concerned about. I don't think so. But moving on, sometimes photographers tell the bride that they want them to be ready by 3, even though the ceremony is at 6 or 7 p.m. And then these brides want you to sit there for 3 to 4 hours, to wait for to do touch-ups before the ceremony. Sometimes they don't, but a lot of times they do. So what do you do? Sit there and not make any money? No, you charge them something, for that time. Also, the other thing that the bridal business you should be aware of, it's like um, um, tryouts. Tryouts take time. Tryouts, you are trying out your ideas, and this is worth money, because I've had the experience where people come in for the tryout, and they make sure they know what are you doing and how you're doing it, and then they go somewhere else, and they don't pay you for the tryout because you said that you would make it part of the bridal service. That you would what's the word? You add it on to the bridal the bridal price. But no, 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 no. This is time that you need. It's your talent. It's your time. You need to charge for that. Also, locations. The same thing with doing hair services in on location. If you have to do a tryout, if you have to do a wedding outside of the salon, you charge for that. Because it's travel time for you, wear and tear of your car, your products, etc., etc. If you have to bring in an assistant, you have to pay for that. And not only that, I used to be able to charge double for this, because again, it's a convenience, for the bride, and trust me, if they really want you, they'll pay. And it all has to do with how you handle your business. Then the other aspect of business, which for me was a tough thing, because I wasn't sent out into the world with good self-esteem, and I'm certainly not an A personality person. I'm more of a B, maybe half an. It depends. I can be both, but most of the time I'm more of a B personality. I don't know if that's good too. And with my ADHD, it's kind of difficult to keep things in track. It's very challenging. I have to admit. But there's also production. Production has so many outlets. Production means film, theater, TV, catalogs, fashion by itself. Uh, I remember when I started, and I think they still do pay this if you have been in the business for a long time and you're good at what you do and the client likes you. An assistant can get paid anywhere from $200 to $500 a day, plus expenses. And the lead will get paid anywhere in between 12 to 1500 a day plus expenses. And this is something you have to negotiate, because nowadays, um, you they want you to be able to do both hair and makeup, and that's so rare in Miami, especially. Everybody knows how to do makeup, but nobody knows how to do hair. Maybe minimal hair, and they want they want everybody to do everything so that they can save half of that price. Instead of paying someone 1,500 for hair, 1,500 for makeup, they pay 1,500 for somebody who knows how to do both. Same with assistants. But anyways, there's a lot more when it comes to production. It depends on the situation. It depends on the company, the budget that they have. I've done some amazing projects like Chico's. Ugh, what a production! Oh my God, they even had camels and zoo animals in their production. It was unbelievable. The food was constantly being served, snacks and food and coffee and everything. No, you don't understand. And this was a 6-day production, and I was only able to work on the last 4, just assisting for hair. Anywho, so I think I'm going to leave it at that. I'm getting to my 15 minutes, which I was hoping it wasn't that long. However, if you're new and you liked what you heard here, please subscribe. It helps the channel to me to continue, and which I will anyways. But it helps. Maybe the quality of the videoing. I mean, I try to make it a little more interesting with a different background in my room instead of a plain white wall. And so now, I hope to see you again soon, and also make comments if you feel like there was something missing that you want me to comment on or talk about. Please let me know. I'd be more than glad to expand or talk about that. Thank you.